Struggling to make ends meet? Discover the miraculous gift Padre Pio left to turn your financial worries into divine abundance. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, money slips through your fingers? Perhaps you've tried everything, working longer hours, saving every penny, even praying for help. But prosperity seems to elude you. If you feel this way, I want you to know that Padre Pio, the beloved and powerful saint, left an extraordinary gift for people like you. My dear brother, my dear sister who is listening to me, you are not alone, and today could be the day that changes your life forever. I'm going to reveal a very simple secret from this miraculous saint that transformed the lives of thousands of people who, like you, were seeking an answer to their financial problems. If you believe in the power of Padre Pio's intercession, write in the comments, "Padre Pio, bless my finances," because what I'm about to reveal to you is not a mere coincidence. They are 3 sacred numbers that Padre Pio used to attract abundance and prosperity. Before we dive in, drop a 1 in the comments if you're ready to change your life. Hit that subscribe button and stick around till the end for a jaw-dropping surprise. But before I reveal these miraculous numbers, I need you to understand something fundamental. This is not a lucky charm or a magic formula. It is a heavenly gift that must be used with true faith and a pure heart. Padre Pio always taught us that true prosperity begins in the spirit, in our relationship with God, and in absolute trust in His providence. You know, I recently received the testimony of Lucia Ramirez, a single mother who was on the verge of losing her home. Debts were suffocating her, and every night she cried, wondering how she would feed her children the next day. But everything changed when she discovered these 3 sacred numbers from Padre Pio. In a moment, I'll tell you her full story, because what happened next was truly miraculous. These numbers are not just anything. They are deeply rooted in Catholic tradition and have such powerful spiritual meaning that when you write them with faith and the right intention, they open the doors to abundance in a way that seems almost miraculous. And no, I'm not exaggerating. The testimonies I've received are so extraordinary that sometimes they're hard to believe, but they are real. Stay with me until the end, because I will not only reveal these 3 sacred numbers, but also teach you exactly how to use them, at what time of day to apply them, and the specific prayers you must say to maximize their spiritual power. This information could be exactly what you've been searching for to transform your financial situation once and for all. And remember, when Padre Pio intercedes for us, miracles happen. So open your heart and prepare to receive one of the most powerful revelations that will change your financial life forever. Before revealing these sacred numbers, we need to understand Padre Pio's profound spiritual wisdom about prosperity. This beloved saint, who bore the stigmata of Christ for 50 years, understood like few others the relationship between faith and material abundance. Padre Pio always emphasized that God is a loving Father who cares about all our needs, including material ones. Pray, hope, and don't worry, he taught us. This simple phrase holds a profound truth about how we should manage our finances with active faith, unwavering patience, and total trust in divine providence. Many believe that spirituality and money are opposites, but Padre Pio showed us that this is a mistake. He understood that money, when handled with wisdom and divine purpose, becomes a tool for doing good. It's not money itself that causes problems, but disordered attachment to it. The 3 numbers that Padre Pio revealed are connected to deep spiritual truths. Each one represents a different aspect of divine abundance, and when used together, they create a powerful channel for financial blessings. However, Padre Pio insisted that these numbers must be used with a pure heart and the right intention. If this resonates with you, smash that like button, comment yes, and don't miss the shocking twist waiting at the video's end. Did you know that in the Bible, numbers have profound spiritual meanings? For example, when Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, it was no coincidence that there were 12 baskets left over. Each number in sacred scripture has a purpose and a divine message. The numbers that Padre Pio left us are directly connected to these biblical truths. In 2 Timothy 4, verses 3 and 4, we are reminded to hold fast to truth. For the time will come when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. Padre Pio understood that true prosperity is not just about having more money in the bank. It's about achieving a state of holistic abundance where our material needs are met, allowing us to better serve God and our neighbor. The numbers he revealed are a key that unlocks this deeper understanding of prosperity. During his years of ministry, Padre Pio witnessed countless financial miracles. People who seemed to be in impossible situations experienced extraordinary transformations when they learned to combine practical faith with spiritual trust. The numbers we're about to reveal were an integral part of many of these miracles. These sacred numbers are not lucky charms or magic formulas. They are tangible reminders of eternal spiritual truths, designed to help us align our financial life with God's will. They are like keys that, when used with faith and understanding, open the doors to heavenly abundance. The time has come to reveal these three sacred numbers that Padre Pio used to attract prosperity: the 7, the 12, and the 5. But beyond simply knowing them, it's essential to understand the spiritual power each one holds. The number 7 represents divine perfection. In the Bible, God created the world in 7 days, establishing a sacred pattern of completeness. Padre Pio taught that the 7 reminds us that God leaves nothing unfinished in our lives. When we write the 7, we are declaring our trust in the perfection of God's plan for our finances. It's like activating a heavenly switch that connects us to God's perfect abundance. The number 12 symbolizes divine governance and authority. Think of the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 apostles, the 12 months of the year. Padre Pio revealed that the 12 has the power to establish order in our finances. When we write it with faith, we are inviting God's governance over our economy, allowing His wisdom to guide our financial decisions. The number 5 represents divine grace and favor. In the multiplication of the loaves, Jesus used 5 loaves to feed thousands. Padre Pio taught that the 5 attracts God's supernatural favor in situations that seem impossible. It is the number of miraculous multiplication, of favor that transforms scarcity into abundance. These 3 numbers, when written together, 7, 12, 5, create a powerful spiritual frequency. Padre Pio explained that it's like opening a heavenly safe where God keeps special blessings for His children. It's no coincidence that these numbers add up to 24, which represents the hours of the day, reminding us that God's provision is constant and uninterrupted. But pay attention. Padre Pio was emphatic that these numbers must be written in a specific order. First the 7, then the 12, and finally the 5. This order is not arbitrary. It follows a divine pattern that maximizes their spiritual power. It's like a sacred combination that, when applied correctly, unlocks extraordinary blessings. Each number must be written with conscious intention and prayer. Padre Pio taught that as we write each number, we should visualize the specific area of our finances where we need God's touch. The 7 to perfect, the 12 to order, and the 5 to multiply. These numbers are like a master key that opens the doors to divine prosperity, but their real power is activated through our faith and actions, aligned with God's will. They are not a magic formula, but a sacred channel for receiving the blessings God already has prepared for us. Love this content? Comment 777 and subscribe. Hate it? Still hit like, and watch till the end for a mind-blowing reveal. Let me share the extraordinary story of Lucia Ramirez, a single mother from Monterrey who experienced the transformative power of these 3 sacred numbers from Padre Pio. Her testimony is living proof of how faith combined with these special teachings can completely change a situation that seemed hopeless. Lucia worked as a saleswoman in a small shop and barely earned enough to support her 3 children. Her debts had piled up so much that she was about to lose her home. Every night after putting her children to bed, she cried in silence, wondering how she could move forward. Her savings were gone, and creditors harassed her with daily calls. Everything changed when her aunt, a devotee of Padre Pio, shared the secret of the 3 sacred numbers with her. At first, Lucia was skeptical. How can simple numbers change my situation? She wondered. However, desperation led her to try it. She began the ritual. Every morning, she wrote the 7, the 12, and the 5 on the palm of her right hand, accompanying each number with a sincere prayer. During the first few weeks, Lucia noticed subtle but significant changes. First, she began to feel an inner peace she hadn't experienced in years. Her decisions became clearer and more accurate. Then unexpectedly, a customer at the shop offered her a better paying job at his company. But the true miracle happened 2 months after starting this sacred practice. A distant relative, upon learning of her situation, decided to help her pay off her most urgent debts. Moreover, this same relative taught her strategies to better manage her finances. It was as if the numbers had opened a channel of blessings that flowed not only in the form of money, but also in wisdom and opportunities. The most surprising thing, Lucia shares with tears in her eyes, was not just the improvement in my financial situation. It was realizing that I was never alone. Every time I wrote those numbers, I felt the protective presence of Padre Pio and God's providence in my life. Today, a year later, Lucia has not only managed to stabilize her finances, but has also been able to create a small savings fund for her children's education. Her story reminds us that these sacred numbers, when used with true faith and perseverance, can trigger a series of blessings that transform not only our situation, but our entire life. Lucia's testimony is just one of many examples of the transformative power of these sacred numbers from Padre Pio. As she herself says, they are not just numbers, they are keys that open the doors of heaven. Now that you've learned about the transformative power of these sacred numbers, let's learn the morning ritual that Padre Pio taught to harness their spiritual benefits. This ritual must be performed as soon as you wake up, when the sun begins to rise and your mind is at its most receptive. The first thing you should do upon waking is make the sign of the cross and give thanks for the new day. Padre Pio insisted that gratitude is the master key that opens the doors to abundance. Before starting with the numbers, take a moment to give thanks for everything you already have, no matter how small it seems. With your right hand clean and your heart at peace, begin this sacred ritual. Take a moment to breathe deeply and connect with your faith. Padre Pio taught that this moment of preparation is crucial, as you are about to activate a direct channel to heavenly blessings. First, write the number 7 in the center of your right palm. As you do, visualize divine perfection manifesting in your finances. Say softly, Padre Pio, through this sacred number, I activate divine perfection in my finances. Pause briefly, allowing the energy of the 7 to settle. Next, write the number 12 just below the 7. As you do, visualize divine order being established in your financial life. Say, Padre Pio, through this sacred number, I establish divine governance over my resources. Feel the power of the 12 begin to order your financial world. Finally, write the number 5, completing the sacred sequence. As you do, visualize miraculous multiplication manifesting in your life. Say with faith, Padre Pio, through this sacred number, I activate divine multiplication in my finances. Feel the energy of the 5, completing the circuit of abundance. Padre Pio taught that these numbers should remain on your hand for at least 1 hour. During this time, every time you look at the numbers, renew your faith in their transformative power. Do not erase them intentionally. Let them fade naturally as a reminder that blessings flow naturally into your life. This ritual must be performed with consistency and devotion. Padre Pio emphasized that consistency is key to seeing miraculous results. It's not a ritual that works just once. It's a sacred practice that builds a permanent bridge between you and divine blessings. Let me know you're here. Type I'm in below, tap subscribe, and trust me, the final moment will leave you speechless. Throughout the day, whenever you feel anxious about your finances, look at the numbers on your hand. Let them remind you that you are not alone, that Padre Pio is interceding for you, and that blessings are on the way. This practice will not only transform your finances, but also strengthen your faith and spiritual connection. Dear brothers and sisters who are with me, as we immerse ourselves in these teachings from Padre Pio, I want to share something special we prepared for you. To delve even deeper into this sacred knowledge, we've created the ebook, The Spiritual Secrets of St. Padre Pio. This book contains powerful prayers, reflections based on his teachings, and practical advice to strengthen your spirituality. In it, you'll find a detailed guide on how to apply these sacred numbers in specific situations in your life, along with inspiring testimonies and special prayers revealed by Padre Pio himself. If you wish to access this spiritual treasure, the link is pinned in the comments. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your life with the wisdom of this beloved saint. The wisdom of Padre Pio about these sacred numbers goes far beyond their material aspect. Each number is part of a profound spiritual system that connects our earthly reality with heavenly blessings. Today, we'll delve deeper into this spiritual dimension that makes these numbers truly powerful. Padre Pio taught that when we write these numbers with faith, we activate three different levels of blessing. The first level is divine protection over our finances. It's like creating a spiritual shield that protects our resources from unnecessary losses and unexpected expenses. Many devotees testify that since starting this practice, their expenses began to align in an almost miraculous way. All right, let's get rolling. Comment more if you're excited, like to keep the vibe going, and stay tuned for an epic surprise at the end. The second level is supernatural multiplication. Padre Pio explained that just as Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, these numbers have the power to multiply our resources when we use them with true faith. It's not about magical multiplication, but about activating divine opportunities that increase our resources. The third level, and perhaps the most profound, is the transformation of our mindset about money. Padre Pio insisted that true prosperity begins in our mind and heart. These numbers help us develop an abundance mindset aligned with divine principles. When we write the 7, 12, and 5 on our hand, we are making a powerful spiritual declaration. We are affirming our trust in divine providence and our readiness to receive the blessings God has prepared for us. It's like opening a direct channel to heaven, allowing blessings to flow freely into our life. Padre Pio revealed that these numbers also have a purifying effect on our finances. They help clear negative patterns and limiting beliefs about money that we may have inherited or developed over time. It's like a spiritual cleansing that prepares the ground for new blessings. The daily practice of writing these numbers becomes an act of faith and trust. Every time we write them, we are renewing our covenant with divine providence. Padre Pio taught that this daily renewal is crucial to keeping the channel of blessings open. Moreover, these numbers serve as a constant reminder that our finances are in divine hands. Every time we look at our palm during the day and see these numbers, we renew our faith and trust that God is working in our favor, even when we can't see the results immediately. Now let's explore the different ways these sacred numbers from Padre Pio can be applied to specific situations in your financial life. Because it's not just about writing them, but integrating them fully into your daily life with wisdom and discernment. For debts, Padre Pio taught a special application of these numbers. When you face a debt that seems impossible to pay, write the numbers 7, 12, 5 on a white piece of paper and place it next to your bills or debt documents. As you do, visualize those debts shrinking and disappearing completely. Many devotees have testified that after this practice, unexpected opportunities arose to settle their debts. In financial emergencies, when you need a quick answer from heaven, Padre Pio recommended writing the numbers 3 times in a row on your right hand, forming a triangle. This special arrangement intensifies their spiritual power as a sign of urgency to heaven. However, this should only be done in truly urgent situations. To attract new job or business opportunities, write the numbers in the morning while specifically visualizing the type of opportunity you need. Padre Pio taught that clarity in our request accelerates the divine response. Accompany this practice by repeating, Padre Pio, through these sacred numbers, open the doors of prosperity in my life. In moments of important financial decisions, such as investments or significant purchases, write the numbers on your hand before making the decision. Padre Pio revealed that these numbers activate the gift of discernment, helping us make wiser financial decisions aligned with God's will. To protect your savings and multiply them, write the numbers on the first page of your bank book or on a card you keep in your wallet. This practice creates a spiritual shield over your resources, protecting them from losses and attracting growth opportunities. Padre Pio also taught a special application for businesses. If you have a business, write the numbers on a piece of paper and place it discreetly near where you keep money or important documents. This attracts prosperity and protects your business finances. For situations that seem stagnant, where money simply doesn't flow, Padre Pio recommended writing the numbers while walking 7 steps forward. This movement symbolizes progress in the unlocking of stalled financial situations. Padre Pio was very clear about the challenges we might face when using these sacred numbers. Because like any powerful spiritual practice, obstacles may arise that we must learn to overcome with faith and wisdom. The first common obstacle is impatience. Many people write the numbers expecting immediate results and become discouraged when they don't see instant changes. Padre Pio taught that true faith is tested in waiting. He compared this process to planting. Just as a farmer doesn't dig up the seed every day to see if it's growing, we must trust in God's timing. Another frequent challenge is doubt. Sometimes, after a few days of practice, the enemy sows thoughts of skepticism in our minds. Will this really work? Am I wasting my time? Padre Pio explained that these doubts are tests of our faith and determination. When they arise, we must reaffirm our trust by writing the numbers with greater conviction. Inconsistency is another significant obstacle. Some people write the numbers one day and skip three, expecting the same results as someone who does it faithfully every day. Padre Pio insisted that consistency is crucial. It's like charging a phone. It needs a constant connection to maintain energy. There's also the challenge of misinterpretation. Some see these numbers as a magic formula, forgetting their spiritual dimension. Padre Pio warned that without prayer and a life of faith, the numbers are just symbols without power. We must always maintain a balance between the external practice and the internal disposition of the heart. The obstacle of materialism is particularly subtle. Some people focus so much on the financial aspect that they forget the broader spiritual purpose. Padre Pio taught that these numbers are a channel for divine blessing, not an end in themselves. True prosperity includes spiritual peace and generosity toward others. There's also the challenge of external criticism. You may encounter people who don't understand or criticize this practice. Padre Pio reminded us that many saints were misunderstood in their time. The important thing is to maintain faith and let the results speak for themselves. Finally, there's the obstacle of discouragement. When we face financial trials while practicing this ritual, Padre Pio explained that sometimes trials come not to discourage us, but to strengthen our faith and prepare us for greater blessings. As we wrap up this journey into the transformative power of Padre Pio's sacred numbers, 7, 12, and 5, I can't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude and hope stirring in my heart. And I bet many of you feel it too. These numbers aren't just digits scratched on a page or whispered in a prayer. They're a divine invitation to rethink how we approach our finances, our faith, and our entire lives. Reflecting on Padre Pio's wisdom, I'm struck by how he bridged the earthly and the heavenly, showing us that prosperity isn't about chasing dollar bills, but about aligning our hearts with God's perfect plan. The number 7, with its promise of divine perfection, reminds me of the countless times I've stressed over bills or unexpected expenses, only to realize that worrying never fixed a thing. Instead, trusting that God's got it all under control, like he did when he created the world in 7 days, has brought me a peace that no paycheck ever could. Then there's 12, the symbol of divine order, which hit home when I thought about the chaos of my own budget before I started prioritizing clarity and intention with my money. Writing that number feels like handing the reins to God, letting his wisdom sort out the mess I sometimes make. And 5? Oh, that number's a game changer. It's the spark of miraculous multiplication, like when Jesus fed thousands with just 5 loaves. It's taught me to look at what I do have, however small, and believe that with faith it can grow beyond my wildest dreams. Lucia Ramirez's story, that single mom from Monterrey who turned her life around, sealed it for me. Her tears weren't just about paying off debts. They were about discovering she was never alone. That's the real miracle here. These numbers connect us to something bigger, to a saint who still intercedes, to a God who still provides. So what have I learned? First, faith isn't passive. It's an active choice to trust even when the bank account looks grim. Padre Pio's ritual of writing these numbers every morning isn't magic. It's a daily reminder to anchor my decisions in something eternal. I've started applying this by setting aside a moment each day to pray and visualize my goals, not just for money but for peace and purpose. It's like hitting reset on my mindset, replacing anxiety with expectation. Second, consistency matters. Lucia didn't see change overnight, and neither will we. But showing up day after day, writing those numbers, praying those prayers, builds a bridge to blessings that compound over time. I've made it a habit to track my spending with the same diligence I bring to this ritual, and it's shocking how small, steady steps add up. Third, prosperity isn't just personal. Padre Pio taught that true abundance spills over, blessing others too. I've taken this to heart by sharing what I learn, whether it's a budgeting tip or a kind word, with friends and family. It's not about hoarding wealth, but multiplying it through generosity, just like those 5 loaves fed a crowd. And honestly, the biggest takeaway? We're not alone in our struggles. Every time I write 7, 12, 5, I feel Padre Pio's presence, like a friend cheering me on. It's a reminder that God sees every late-night worry, every sacrificed dream, and He's already working on the answer. How can we apply this to our lives? Start small, but start now. Tomorrow morning, grab a pen, write those numbers on your hand, and pray with intention. Visualize one financial goal. Maybe it's paying off a credit card or saving for a kid's future. And trust God to perfect, order, and multiply your efforts. Don't just stop at the ritual. Let it inspire practical steps. Create a budget if you don't have one. Cut one unnecessary expense this week. Share a meal with someone who's struggling. These actions, paired with faith, are like planting seeds in fertile soil. And don't underestimate the power of community. Talk about this with people you trust. I've found that sharing my goals with a friend keeps me accountable and opens doors I didn't see coming. Most of all, let go of the idea that money defines your worth. Padre Pio's numbers aren't about getting rich quick. They're about living richly in faith, hope, and love. I've started measuring my success not by my bank balance, but by the peace I feel and the good I can do. It's a shift that's changed everything. American culture loves instant results, but Padre Pio's way challenges us to play the long game. Think of it like training for a marathon. You don't win by sprinting the first mile. You win by pacing yourself, staying focused, and trusting the process. I've messed up plenty, chasing quick fixes or doubting when things got tough, but these numbers pull me back to what matters. They're a lifeline, not just for my wallet, but for my soul. And isn't that what we're all craving? Not just more stuff, but more meaning, more connection, more hope. Padre Pio's gift isn't a lottery ticket. It's a roadmap to a life where we can face any storm knowing we're held by something stronger than ourselves. I'm still learning, still growing, but every time I write those numbers, I'm reminded that miracles aren't just possible. They're promised for those who believe. So here's my challenge to you as we close this video. Don't let this moment pass you by. If Padre Pio's sacred numbers have sparked something in you, take action right now. Hit that like button to spread this hope to others who need it. Share this video with a friend who's been struggling. They might be one click away from their own miracle. Subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a dose of inspiration like this. And in the comments, tell me, what's your first step tomorrow? Maybe it's writing 7, 12, 5 for the first time, or maybe it's just saying, I'm ready to trust. Whatever it is, type it below. Let's build a community of faith and abundance together. Your click, your comment, your share could be the start of something life-changing, not just for you, but for someone else out there. Let's keep this miracle moving. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.